So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how commission splits work as a real estate agent or a realtor. We're going to talk about a couple different things you need to know when it comes to commission splits, how it works with your brokerage, what different types there are out there. We're going to talk about caps here. We're going to talk about team splits, everything you need to know about how commission splits work in the real estate industry. So without further ado, let's jump into my computer here and just get right into it. Let me make sure this is big enough for you guys. Let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit so you can see it easily here if you're on a smaller screen. So first off, at the brokerage level, you're going to have your base commission split. Now this brokerage commission split can come in any form. It is entirely negotiable, and it's something that's going to vary from broker to broker. So in this particular instance, we're going to look at two different scenarios here. Number one is going to be looking here at a 70-30 split, which would be 70% to the agent and 30% to the brokerage. And we're also going to look at an 85-15 split, which would be 85% to the agent and 15% to the brokerage. Now, this is pretty straightforward. You can probably already guess, hey, if I'm on a 70-30 split, I'm going to be able to keep $7,000 of the commission, assuming that the commission is $10,000. So the agent keeps $7,000, the brokerage keeps $3,000. Now, coming over to this example, same exact thing here. If you're on an 85-15 split, the agent will keep $8,500 and the brokerage keeps $1,500. Now, it's worth noting that in this scenario, you may end up having transaction fees on top of that or other types of brokerage fees. So outside of just the commission split here, you could have monthly desk fees, which might be a desk fee that says, hey, this is to help pay for your office space. You might have a direct office space fee if you're officing out of their corporate office or out of a physical office. That might be something you have to pay for. They might have technology fees, which help cover services like DocuSign or SkySlope or Dotloop, these different services that a lot of real estate agents use. Or you could even just have other, random fees that they might add in there, either on a monthly basis or when you close transactions. So for instance, at my brokerage, after joining the first two deals you close, you're going to pay a $250 transaction fee on those transactions. In addition to that, it's also good to know that you're going to have a cap, or at least you should have a cap when joining a brokerage. If you're at a brokerage, you could see caps of $12,000, $16,000, $18,000, maybe $21,000, or you may not have a cap at all. You really want to make sure that you're at a brokerage that is going to offer you a cap, or at least give you a very favorable split when it comes to the brokerage level. So for instance, again, at my brokerage, I pay I have a $12,000 cap. So when I'm over here on this 85-15, I pay them $1,500 per transaction, assuming that the commission is $10,000, of course. And once I pay in a total of $12,000, then I'm no longer going to have to pay them any commission other than just a transaction fee. Most brokerages, after you cap out, will charge at least a transaction fee, which kind of just covers their costs to be able to process that transaction, cut out a check to you, and go through all of the necessary processes in order to get you paid. So there typically is a transaction fee that can be anywhere from $195 up to maybe $499. That's pretty typical for transaction fees after capping. So you pay in the money each time you close a transaction, you hit the cap, and then you just have the transaction fee after that point. Now, let's scroll down here a little bit and talk a little bit about the team structure as well. A lot of new agents will decide to join a team rather than just going direct with the brokerage. They're going to join a team. Now, the team structure, if you don't know, is basically a mini brokerage within a brokerage. So even if you're on a team, you're still going to be paying in a brokerage split in most cases. Now, there are some scenarios where maybe you won't, but for the sake of this video, most team structures are going to be set up under a brokerage. So you're going to have some type of split with the brokerage themselves, and then you're also going to have a team structure split in addition to that. So we're going to use the same $10,000 commission that we used here. A pretty typical team structure split would be 50-50. If the team leader is giving leads to the agent, the team leader is probably going to want to take 50% of the commission in return for paying for those leads. A lot of team leaders will go out there, they'll generate leads using Facebook or Google, and those leads come in, they hand them to the agent to work, the agent goes out there and closes the deal, and the team leader takes the 50%. This can be a great scenario because they're covering a lot of the upfront expense of getting those leads and a lot of the office expenses that go along with just being a real estate agent. So in this scenario, you're going to have the team structure 50-50, pretty straightforward. The team leader takes $5,000 and the agent takes $5,000 as well. Then you also have to factor in the brokerage split that you're going to have in addition to that. So you take home $5,000. The $5,000 here, I should just mention, that's going to be paid out as a referral to your team leader. So the team leader is going to take that $5,000, whatever split transaction they have negotiated with the brokerage, they're going to pay that on their own. So that won't affect you. But for you, you're going to have your brokerage split with the broker as well. So you take that $5,000 that you take from the $10,000 gross commission, and let's say again that you're going to be on an 85-15 split here again, which means that you're going to have $750 go to the brokerage, and the agent is going to keep $4,250. I also wanted to mention that, of course, after that point, you still have to pay taxes and some potential fees or expenses on this $4,250. So you can see that being on a team and being a part of brokerage, you give away a lot of your commission up front. Now, in some cases, this is okay because you're there to get the education, the training, everything that you need from the team and the broker to get started in real estate. But as you progress through your real estate career, you're going to get to a point where you're just like, hey, I'm not going to pay out these deals or these commissions when I'm going out there and generating the deals and doing all of this business myself. So out of $4,250, I mean, after taxes and fees, you might only keep like $3,000 of this gross amount. So you go from a $10,000 commission down to $3,000. I mean, that's pretty steep, right? So that's why a lot of agents eventually graduate in getting off the team. I should mention a couple other things here that you may or may not have a cap with the team structure. Most of the teams that I've seen out there do not have a team cap, but there are instances where you could have one or you could negotiate one. And the other thing I want to mention is that typically you will get a better split if you're generating your own leads. The reason why the team split structure is so heavy in favor of the team leader, it's 50-50, is because they're paying for a lot of the expenses and the cost of the leads. Most team leaders are going to spend anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 in leads, in advertising, to bring in enough leads for you to be able to go out there and close a transaction. So the team leader is pulling in obviously more than that. That's going to be the team leader's profit. They're not just working for free here. So they're going to keep some of that, but generally you can negotiate that if you go out there and you generate your own leads, or your mom wants to buy a house, your brother wants to buy a house, your neighbor wants to sell their house, whatever. If you go out there and generate your own leads, you're going to be able to negotiate a better split with that. 70-30 would be something that's pretty typical for a team, or maybe even 60-40, 60% going to the agent and 40% to the team leader. I still think that's pretty steep for generating your own leads. The training and education that the team leader is going to offer, in my opinion, in most cases is not worth that. So if you can, when it comes to being on a team, try to get at least a 70-30, if not 75-25, or even 80-20 for your own leads. As you get to the point where you're closing more deals, you're going to get more leverage in this scenario, and you're going to be able to negotiate a better deal when it comes to these commission splits. So that is a general overview of how the commission splits work in the real estate industry. I hope this video was helpful for you. If it was, consider subscribing to the channel and consider sharing it with somebody else who's a new agent if you know of anybody. With that said, thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.